Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Bitcoin update. I'm more than happy to announce to you today that Bitcoin has just flipped bullish for the first time in a long time. I'm talking in many months. We've had neutral price action for a long period of time on Bitcoin, and now we have flipped bullish. And that doesn't mean we've seen macro confirmation of bullishness. It simply means we've seen great amount of bullish strength. I'll discuss that distinction in a second here today, but I can say confidently that I'm leaning bullish on Bitcoin now because we've seen a breakout of a 1,000 day long resistance line, as well as a bullish engulfing candle on the weekly chart, as well as a break of the 200 week SMA, a break of the Gaussian channel upper band, a break of the bull market support band, a break of 29.7K, a break of 28.6K. There's so many things that have occurred, and more by the way, that have actually made the Bitcoin price chart look very, very good. Now it's about maintaining that strength and remaining above 28K, because that ultimately is the target that would validate the bearish argument once more. But right now, Bitcoin looks good. Yes, we could see a short-term pullback. We'll discuss everything in the video today. Guys, without further ado, let's get into it. Alright guys, before we get into the video content itself and the charts, we need to look at the Telegram VIP group. On Telegram, we run a VIP channel that does altcoin trading signals and trading plans, both scalp positions and swing positions. We also have a group chat that runs 24/7. We're about 100 members, discuss the market, discuss charts 24/7. Get in there. It's a very active community, much more active than something like the YouTube comment section, much more convenient than something like the YouTube comment section. You got the pricing information, you got the free trial information, and you got the results, which has an 80.5% win rate on Telegram. I'll say that again, 80.5% win rate, right, on this group. Check it out, guys. The link for the information results group, which you can join for free, is in the description below. Guys, let's get into the content today. We have seen, okay, I'm very happy to announce, by the way, we have seen three very significantly bullish events occur, okay? First and foremost, we're going to go in chronological order. Well, not really much of a chronological order, but we're going to go in order that I have on the screen here, in order of what I think is most major to least major. First and foremost, we have a breakout of this line. I'm going to make it blue so you can see it. This blue line, this is a 1,000 day long line. So let's go and measure it from 12th of April all the way to now. It's actually 917 days long. Let's just say 1,000 for dramatic flair, right? We've got a 1,000 day long line, okay? Broke to the upside. Now, we've seen an upside break before. This line stems back from April 2021, the first move of the bull market back there. We've seen an upside break of this line before. For example, we saw it here during the kind of double top formation in the second part of the bull run in 2021. But ultimately, even during that top formation, if we actually line up this line perfectly, which we haven't really done so, there we go, that's a good line up there, then we can see that even during this top formation, we saw it act as resistance before the break, support before the breakdown, came down, broke for support, and then act as resistance 1, 2, 3 separate occasions again. So it's still very, very valid, regardless of the fact we had a fake out above it. It's still ultimately very valid because we had 3 clean retests after the invalidation that came from the fake out. So very, very valid. 1,000 day resistance line. Guys, I'm happy to announce we have closed a weekly candle above that line. That is a big breakout. Now we can get into the next topic, and we're going to loop back around into that line in a second, but this is probably where I should have started off. The range-bound constructions on Bitcoin. We do know for a fact, a lot of people know this already, that Bitcoin and every single financial asset really forms ranges, right, from a TA perspective. The range we're in right now is the green range between 32K and 24.5K. If we get above 32K, we will enter, okay, this range here. Now, this is not just one range, but I've simplified it down to one range for sake of simplicity. If we break above 32K, we'll get back into this big range here where we saw the vast majority of the volatility that we saw during the bull run, which means if we get back into this range above 32K, we'll be seeing a very volatile Bitcoin once again. And given the fact that that range break will be bullish, we'll be seeing bullish volatility once again. So remember those numbers, 32K and 24.5K. Where is 32K? 32K is this red line here. We've seen a breakout, guys. I want to make this very clear to you. I want to say it very clearly, right? So there's no room for error. All right, we have seen a breakout, a confirmed breakout, a weekly candle close above a 1,000 day long resistance line, right? As we are only 10-15% below the range top, right? Given the fact that we've seen a 1,000 day resistance line break, it stands to reason, okay, that we will be at least retesting the top of the range, right? And if we're retesting the top of the range, we have to consider that we've retested the top of the range 2 times before, and we have to consider that a third retest of the top of the range is going to be very likely to break through to the upside, especially given the circumstance of this break. Therefore, the break of this 1,000-day resistance for Bitcoin is going to be likely to lead to a break of 32K, and the break of 32K is going to be likely to lead to high volatility in quite an historically bullish region. Therefore, Bitcoin is now bullish. It's a very simple, logical pathway, and that's only based off this chart. I have more charts to look at. For example, we have the weekly chart itself. I'm going to delete this head and shoulders formation. We'll look at that in a second. The weekly chart itself, what have we done on the weekly? Well, this chart is a bit of a cluster, but I'll try and simplify it for you. We have things like the 200-week SMA, which we have actually managed to break to the upside after acting as brief resistance. As you can see, act as resistance here. We broke it to the upside now on a weekly candle close. Excellent stuff there. We've also broken to the upside above the Gaussian channel, upper line, the upper band of the Gaussian channel. We've broken to the upside above that. We can see that the Gaussian channel has been quite, constructive. What's the word for it? I don't know. It's built the Bitcoin structure over the last 6-7 months quite well. I mean, you can see this entire formation just kind of grinding on that center line of the Gaussian channel, and now we're lifting up off of it again, and we could see some springing action based off that. It's good to see a break above the Gaussian channel center line, because the Gaussian channel, by the way, I want to quickly focus on this for a second, actually. The Gaussian channel is Bitcoin's most reliable weekly chart indicator. One of the most reliable indicators Bitcoin has. I'm being serious when I say that, and a lot of people overlook this quite often, but what you see historically on Bitcoin, it's not accurate in the sense that it tells you exactly where Bitcoin's going, but it's accurate in the sense that it tells you the trend direction very well. When we break below or above, so for example, we broke below the center line of the Gaussian channel here, we generally move through the Gaussian channel and see a significant move in the direction of the break. So we broke below it, we moved through quite significantly. We broke above the center line, we moved through very significantly all the way up to the 2017 top. We broke below the Gaussian channel center line, we moved through very significantly to the 2018 bottom. Same thing happens over and over again. COVID is invalid. Okay, it's invalid because COVID-19 is a black swan event, but even given that it's a black swan event, it still worked, right? We broke below the center line, we saw a significant move downside. Broke below the center line, saw a significant move downside to the 2022 bottom, and now we've actually gone and recently, start of this year, we broke below it. I broke above the center line to the upside, and we're yet to see that significant move yet. Given the fact that we're yet to see the significant move, and given the fact that this indicator is flawless, it's never ever failed, we're yet to see a significant move. In order to see a significant move, we need to break a range-bound macro construction. That would be 32K. So until we break 32K and move above 32K, right? The Gaussian channel trend has not played out yet, and it's still perfectly valid with a 100% accuracy rate. So I'm very confident, to be honest with you, in Bitcoin structure right now. I think it looks quite good. One more thing, actually, we've got 2 more things that have been bullish, right? So we're just getting started here. Bull market support band has been very, very bullish as well. Now, I don't need to go and tell you about the bull market support band. Everyone knows about this by now. Just look at the band. Look at the orange band on the screen here. Look how it holds during the bull markets. Look how it holds during the bear markets. This is a very, very decisive trend indicator. And we've managed, after 6, 7, 8 weeks of rejecting, through this painful period here, we've finally managed to get above it quite strongly with a very, very strong weekly candle close. Invalidating, we had an evening star candlestick formation forming with a strong green candle, a doji candle, then a strong red candle, and we've completely and utterly invalidated that with a bullish engulfing candle here. Strong close above 200-week SMA, above bull market support band, above Gaussian channel. So very, very strong weekly candle close. And on top of this, I know there's more, right? On top of this, we've seen a breakout of the weekly chart descending wedge. Strong break, valid close above that weekly chart descending wedge formation. And that, look, if all of this stuff in accumulation, I mean, look what I've shown you in the last, 7-8 minutes here. It's just been a massive amount of bullish triggers here. If all of this stuff in accumulation does not lead to a break above 32K, nothing will. And that, you can take that how you might want to take it. You can take that as a scary thing if you're bearish, or you can take that as a bullish thing if you're bullish. But right now, I think I can confidently state, and I've got more charts to look at, by the way, but I think I can confidently state that I'm leaning bullish on Bitcoin right now. Now, I want to make a very important distinction. I'm leaning bullish, but macro, if you're talking about macro buys, and this is a very important point, so listen up. If you're talking about macro buys, right, if you're talking about buying Bitcoin for long-term holds, I still do not think personally that you should be buying Bitcoin right now. And that might go, like, you might think, how can you say that, Wolf? You're bullish. Yeah, I'm bullish, but I still think that if you're going to make a macro buy, you need to wait for a macro break. And a macro break from a horizontal level would be a break above 32K. So that's just being, call me conservative, call me whatever, but that's what I'm doing personally. I wouldn't be buying at this point in time. I would just be waiting for another 8% gain on the price, buy above 32K when the break of the macro ranges come. And it's as simple as that, and look, that's also coming from my personal perspective, where my average price on Bitcoin is like 20K or something, or 21K or something like that. So it's obvious that, that might be biased because I've already got a very good average price. I'm not really concerned about getting a slightly better one. I'm concerned about not having the stress of holding a position that's bad. So look, if you're looking for macro long-term buys, you don't really care about the price too much. I don't really see why you'd be buying now when there's still threats, because there are threats still. And I want to make that very clear. There's a reason why I say I'm leaning macro bullish. I'm not actually macro bullish. I am leaning macro bullish, but I'm not actually objectively stating that the charts are macro bullish, because they're not, because we haven't seen a break of the horizontal range. We're still in the same range that we've been in for 7 months. So it's hard to sit here and say that the charts have flipped dramatically macro bullish. No, the charts are leaning bullish now. There is bullish strength in the charts, but there's a very different thing between bullish confirmation and bullish strength. But yes, we've seen excellent things occur, of course. We do still have threats. We'll look into one of the big threats right now after I look into the short-term charts. Short-term charts look pretty decent. We've seen a break above this RSI line here, for example. This RSI resistance line, we've broken above that. And we've broken above the red box, which is where the volume profile POC is. We'll discuss all this more in extensive tomorrow. We'll look at short-term a bit more extensively tomorrow. We're above, as you can see on the 15-minute chart, if we got the support line here at 29.7K, if we draw that in, support line at 29.7K-ish, we can see we're above that line. We've flipped that for support a couple of times. We're looking pretty decent there. But I do want to make something very clear. I do think that there is definitely room for a pullback here. For sure. I mean, yes, we've broken above an RSI line, but in reality, we're in the overbought territory in RSI. It wouldn't surprise me if we see a pullback down to this RSI line and down to something like this yellow line or this red box on the price chart. Wouldn't surprise me if we pull back to something like 28.6K. The lowest we can go, and this is another very important point, I'm going to emphasize it tomorrow. I'm actually going to write this down now. Give me a second. The lowest that Bitcoin can go and maintain this bullish strength, and so the target for the bears is 28K. So long as we're above 28K, we are above things like bull market support. We are above things like Gaussian channel upper band. We are above things like 200-day SMA. We are above things like the POC and the volume profile. So long as we're above 28K, Bitcoin has bullish strength. If we drop below 28K, that's really bad. That's really bad, because then this whole move is fake out and we've dropped below the range, and that's really bad. So as long as Bitcoin's above 28K, we're in good territory. But, so yeah, just keep an eye on that, and that's something we will do a dedicated video for Bitcoin tomorrow. But yes, as I said, I wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin sees a pullback to around that region. That's generally what you see when you break out. We've got volume on the decline on the way up here. Sharp volume decreases. We've got RSI and overbought territory. We've got a ascending channel formation on the 15-minute chart with quite strong bearish divergence. Again, it wouldn't surprise me at all if Bitcoin sees a correction here, and that's something we'll discuss tomorrow more extensively when we look at short term. I don't want to focus on short term too much in this video. I feel like it's too much information in one go. I just mainly wanted to focus on that long term stuff. Another thing is as well, another reason why I think it's a reasonable chance that we see a short-term correction, it would be this RSI on the 3-day chart. You can see we're testing a 3-day RSI resistance, and this is actually very major, right? This is a 3-day resistance that stems back from January 2021, so that's not something to be joked around about. That's actually quite major resistance, and that could be added into the bear case right now, because they're, as I said, Bitcoin, it's leaning bullish, it's got bullish strength, but it's not actually confirmed macro bullish yet. There still is a bear case. The bear case you could point to is, and this is something people are insistent that I should point to for a while, and I want to make people very aware of this. I did a dedicated video on this topic for 3 days ago, so let's not act like I haven't talked about this. I just drew that completely wrong. I don't know what I was doing there. 1 second. It's the head and shoulders candlestick formation. So for example, we have the left shoulder over here, okay, the head over here, and the right shoulder forming something over here. Therefore, the breakdown would have to occur, and the breakdown would occur from the neckline, which is around 24.5K, which is actually around the bottom of this macro range on Bitcoin. And if we were to see that head and shoulders candlestick formation confirm, and if we were to see that breakdown, right, we'd take a measured move from the peak of the head to the neckline, we apply it to the breakout point, we'd see a target around, actually I drew that completely wrong, because I drew it from the neck, from the head to the the 24.5k. The neckline is actually over there. So the breakdown from the neckline would take us to around 18k, 19k-ish on Bitcoin. And as you can see on the range-bound chart, 18k, 19k is around the bottom of the orange range. So it actually wouldn't invalidate the cyclical theory, but it would be a significant setback. I mean, we don't want to see that happen at all. And that could be supported by the 3-day RSI chart. The fact that we're at resistance down the 3-day RSI could be indicative of a correction. The problem with the RSI is it's hard to say how major correction could be, because sometimes on RSI you see misleading numbers. You know, you could see a correction on the RSI going back 20, 30 points and only go back, 5, 10% of the price action. So RSI is slightly misleading, but we are at resistance there. So there is a bear case that still needs to be made. I would argue that this head and shoulders is not cause for massive concern, especially until we break below 28k. As I said on a daily chart, where is it? As I said here, if we break below 28k, we're breaking below bull market support band, we're breaking below POC on the volume profile, we're breaking below various things. Until we break below 28k, how can we say that this is a head and shoulders candlestick formation? Could it not just be, for example, the Gaussian channel that I showed you? Could it not just be that the price chart was riding the Gaussian channel for support and now it's finally springing off of it? That's just as logical as an argument. Could it not just be that we were meant to break down here, but we didn't because of the ETF narrative, and now the ETF narrative is progression and the price is going upwards? There's more factors than just market patterns. And market patterns themselves, you have to remember, even if we're taking the head and shoulders candlestick formation on face value, even if we're taking it as the only thing that exists, we're taking it on complete face value, even then, head and shoulders formations only have a 74% chance of breaking down from their necklines. So it's not like it's a certainty by any degree. And when you add in all the other aspects of TA, it's certainly not a certainty by any degree. So I would be saying that in order for me to take this head and shoulders candlestick formation seriously, I keep saying candlestick formation, it's actually a market pattern. Seriously, we would need to be seeing a break of 28k. And I would say that's not something that's ridiculous to wait for. 28k, break below that, we're losing the upwards trend. We're losing the higher low we made here. We're losing this red box. We're losing Gaussian channel. We're losing bull market support band. Then we can flip bearish. So although Bitcoin, and I probably should have emphasized this at the start of the video, because I do think that it's very hard as a YouTuber to make titles and thumbnails and introductions that actually accurately represent what you say throughout the entire video, given the fact that I speak for 20 minutes. It's hard to do. But I think I'll end it up here, right? I'll end it up here. I think we'll talk about the rest tomorrow. Monthly returns. We'll talk about Ethereum. We'll talk about S&P tomorrow. I think I've had enough in this video to here today. I'll wrap it up here. Bitcoin has bullish strength now. It's certainly got bullish strength. It's certainly leaning bullish. There's no macro bullish confirmation at this point in time. For that to happen, we need to break 32k. And the bears aren't certainly out of the game yet, because if we broke 28k, which isn't that far away, the charts would actually flip significantly bearish. But right now, as of right now, the weekly candle close we saw was very bullish. The break of the 1,000-day resistance line was very bullish. And the weekly channel, as I said, for many, many reasons, was very, very bullish. Bitcoin has bullish strength now. For the first time in a long time, it has bullish strength. Throughout this entire range, there's been no bullish strength here. It's been neutral. We have bullish strength for the first time in a long time. The bulls have taken control. Now it's about whether they can maintain that control, because there are still bearish things in the chart. So guys, thank you for watching. Tomorrow I'm going to discuss Ethereum, S&P, and monthly returns, and the short term a bit more extensively. But thank you for watching. I want to check out a few things before we end the video. Please stick around for them. It means a lot if you do. So the Bingx exchange, guys, is a global exchange. It's non-KYC. You can sign up from anywhere in the world with just an email and a password, get access to an exchange with many, many coin pairs with very, very low trading fees, and also get my exclusive rewards and discounts, which I'll speak about in a second. My second exchange is Bitget. Now, unlike Bingx, this is not a global exchange. It's global except for the USA and Canada, and it's KYC. So there's big differences between these exchanges. You link your identity to Bitget, you don't link your identity to Bingx. Bitget, again, very low trading fees, lots of market pairs, good liquidity on Bitget. So yeah, both great exchanges, and choose, take your pick. Sign up to which one you want, sign up to which one you're eligible to sign up for. I like them both. I handpicked them both. The rewards you get for using my referral link are actually quite similar on both exchanges. You get a 15% trading fee discount on both exchanges for my referral link. You get access to an exclusive reward center with over 3,000 to 4,000 USD in rewards depending on the exchange, and you'll get access to exclusive Wolves Crypto promotions using the exchange. It's also a great way to help the channel, and it's a great way to get on a good exchange that is not gonna go behind your back like the exchanges like Binance have been doing for a long period of time. So Bingx, Bitget, sign up. We've also got Crypto Academy. If you want to learn how to trade, this is the place you can do it. Become a Trader 10-unit course, teaches you everything you need to know about trading. You can read up about the course on the website. All the information is there, and the contact details are there as well. Go ahead and check that out if you want to become a trader, you want to learn the art of trading. Guys, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you tomorrow.